It's people. How's everyone doing? Very positive video today. Because there's been a lot of news recently at Leeds United. A lot of talk about transfers, players coming in, the present, the now. But I want to talk about Leeds United's future and how our owners are creating this kind of culture of development around the team and how we are making these right decisions that solidify future. You know, the future of the club is always important, no matter what goal you're going for in the current season, whether that's Premier League or Championship. You have to solidify the future for both parties. And the first thing you do by doing that is create an infrastructure in the 21s of success and proof of success. That's why I want to talk about the two contracts that Leeds have signed from two youth products who I massively believe in. And the first one is Matteo Joseph. Now, I've done videos on Matteo before in the past because he's someone that, having watched quite a lot of the 21s, is someone that I've seen develop and become an all-round player and a player with the potential in terms of attributes. Not one player that's just a poacher, not one player that can just hold the ball up, not one player that can just play behind, but actually a player who has all those demands. He can be a poacher. He scored 15 goals in 19 games in the Under-21s league last season. You've seen him this year come on, hold the ball up. And it's important that in this game and to make it as a footballer, where the margins, by the way, are so small, so fine. You look at Matteo Joseph now, who's just signed a new long-term contract with Leeds United, and Archie Gray, we're going to talk about in a minute, to the other people who, Lewis Bate, who's not featured, who's not part of the team, who's got out on loan to League Two, a player with good talent as well, a player who has all the attributes. But it's about them small percentages. And a lot of that comes down to that winning mentality and how you kind of affect a game with your mentality, with your attributes. And that's why, for me, Matteo Joseph has been awarded that. It's because the willingness and actually the results he's shown, either in training or in games, to have that mentality, right? And that's the difference. They're the margins. The margins are so small. You could be... Lewis Bate is good at a lot of things, and that's very important. But he's not shown that kind of edge yet in his career. I say yet because a player can literally go out on loan, have a season of their life, and then they've got it. They find that edge. Matteo Joseph, for me, has, without it being transferred into loads of minutes, I think he's found that edge. And here's what I've got a little list of what I've seen from him this season, and it's showing impact. When he comes on, he shows impact. What you often see is a lot of players come on. They don't impact the game. You don't talk about them. They just come on for 5 minutes and they do whatever they do. A lot of young players do this. It's normal because the level, and that's the coach testing that level. The level between youth football and men's football is astronomical in terms of mentality, in terms of aggression, in terms of intensity. And that's the difference. It's not the talent of these players. It's the other aspects that you can't replicate in youth football that don't translate to men's football. And it's those things, that mass increase of intensity. Matteo Joseph showed impact this season in every game. Showing physicality isn't an issue, and that's huge. Let's be honest, in the Championship, in the English Premier League, wherever you are, you need them physical attributes. And that's not just strength. That's conditioning, that's speed, that's agility, that's balance. All these things make a physical player. And he's got that. Willingness to learn and develop. This, for me, is the biggest thing Matteo Joseph's got in his arsenal. Is that willingness to learn and develop. When he came to Leeds, what I saw anyway, he was predominantly a poacher. He was. Anywhere in and around the box, he'd find a one-on-one finish. He'd find the corners. That was the type of player he was, off the last man. When the cross comes in, find an area. At Espanyol, that's kind of what he did. You look at a lot of his goals for Espanyol, and they all associate with that. What I'm seeing from Matteo is difference and infecting a ways in different times, coming on the pitch, roughing up defenders, not bothered about the physical play, going in behind, coming to feet, linking play up. Excellent movement and natural instinct. He's always got that natural instinct and that an excellent movement. That's who he is. I just want to show his development chart and what he's developed massively on. And you can see one thing in the pictures here. Matteo from, I believe, obviously the other season, last season, and now there's a big physical increase, which is huge. Conditioning is massive. And as these players obviously grow as people, they will naturally be bigger. But you have to develop that, right? That's down to you. That's down to your conditioning, how you look after yourself. Game involvement has developed massively from when he first played, impacting the game. And maybe this is good. And he's not broke through in the sense that he's playing 60, 70 minutes. But that's not a competition. The fact that he's been given his contract shows Leeds are happy with his development and are putting faith in this young man to slowly realise his potential, because you realise your potential at different times. You don't always do it at 19. It might be 21, 22, 23, when Matteo Joseph really established himself, either at Leeds or in the football pyramid. But wherever it is, wherever he does that, I believe he will. I really do. And I believe he'll do it well. But that takes time. And talking about Archie Gray in a minute, he's on a quicker path. But Matteo Joseph is still on a good path, and he's showing development, and that's key. The other players potentially that don't go out are not meeting those quotas of development and not showing enough to progress to that next level. Matteo is. And I talked about game involvement, hold-up play, tactical understanding has improved massively. He understands where he's playing, understands the role. And you can see that when he comes on, because he looks confident in his play. Direct play as well. He can run at people. We saw it pre-season. If it weren't for that injury, I do believe he'd have got more minutes. It's part of football. That's development. That's mental fortitude. Overall adaptability. Played on the wing pre-season, can play up top, can drop deep, can get behind, makes excellent runs. Really impressed. Excellent contract and good business from Leeds to establish a future. Really impressed, and I'm looking forward to see a lot more from Matteo in the future. I really am. Top player for me. Top player. Archie Gray. We know all about Archie Gray. He's played in every game this season as a 17-year-old. Big part of the team. Showing adaptability and mentality to win. And this one is important. He isn't fazed by mistakes or difficult moments. He's had them. He's been torn apart once or twice. Has it bothered him? He's not bothered. There's a few games where the first 10 minutes he's been beat. But his reaction in most of those games to overcome those obstacles, even to overcome bad games, because he's had one or two where he's not been excellent, and to overcome them, not let it faze you, shows a mental fortitude that you need to go to the top. So that is it. Any young guy can come in and have a good game. It's about that mental fortitude you have to develop when you go through bad times to become a better player. Nothing phases this guy. And of course it helps that he's a Leeds fan and his family, and he's grown up with this. He loves it. He's flourishing it. He doesn't look nervous. He looks calm and calculated and just free on the ball and enjoying himself. And what you're seeing, what I'm seeing, is that development coming in now. As a right back, he is progressing forward more. He's getting into advanced positions. He's making those runs. He's developing. It's that word, and that is vital. Again, contracted to 2028. A long contract at 17 years old. Best believe there was every big club in the world at least interested in Archie Gray. He's chosen this development path at Leeds United. Playing football cannot be underestimated. It can't. Sure, he could have gone to the Premier League top team, played in their 21s, maybe made a few bench appearances, eventually. Sure, he could have. Don't underestimate the development of a player when he's playing football. That is vital. A lot of these guys go to these big clubs too early. They go on loan for 3 or 4 seasons, and then they get shipped off. Archie Gray is playing every minute, and that is huge. You learn so much in every game about yourself as a 17-year-old. Humble, willingness to learn. He's still got that. We heard Farke's press conference. He has that attribute. Picking the cones up. He's a young lad, and he knows he is. And he's not going to rush this. He's not got to rush this. But he's got the potential. Just nurture him right and protect him. He's 17. Let him play football. Let him enjoy himself in a successful team. Development, again. I mean, the physical thing's obvious. You can see when he was, I think he's 15 on the picture above me. And then look at him now. He's going to grow. And there's still more growth to go. He's only 17 years old. As long as he conditions himself right and just allows his body to grow. Yeah. Which I'm sure he will. He's professional football now, Physicality. Huge thing in this league. And again, that's not strength. That's conditioning. That's fitness. That's speed. That's agility. That's, balance. All these things are important. Game involvement. He's played almost every game this season for Leeds United, fighting for the top of the Championship. Apologies. Don't underestimate that. I'm going to say this. Enjoy him while he's here. Enjoy the player we have right now, because he's unbelievably good. Whether we get him till the end of the contract, whether he signs a new contract, or if we get him till the summer, or the summer after. Enjoy the player. Because this guy's ceiling is ridiculous. And I say ceiling because a lot can happen in football. That's down to the individual and down to luck. They're the two things that, it's huge, right? The team you play for, obviously, the manager helping the people around you, which he's got. Now it's down to him to do what he can do and just really believe in himself, but humble himself and realise that he's playing football every week. Adaptability, huge. So difficult to break through in one singular position in football because football tactics and formations are so fluid these days. So fluid. You can be a completely different player in a completely different position, whether you're in or out of possession, whether you're in transition, whether you win the ball out, whether you win it at the back, whether you decide to build out fast or build out slow. You're in a different position. And the fact that this guy played centre mid in the Championship this season and looked very good, and the fact that he's gone to right back and looked very good, that's the reason that separates you from this to this, because you are showing you can adapt to different environments, different parts of the game, different systems even. Because as a right back and a centre mid, it's completely different. Positionally, it's completely different. You've got a fast 1v1 winger against you as opposed to centre mid. Different area of the pitch, everything's in front of you on the wing. Whereas in the middle, everything's around you. To show that, again, mentality and that tactical understanding of the game at 17 to be able to adapt to these positions. I hate people pigeonholing these young guys into he's a centre mid, he's a right back. He's so fluid at 17. He's not developed fully yet. He isn't anything. He's whatever he excels in. If he can play centre mid, he can play right back. He can be both. That's fine. Let him develop. Let him realise what he is. Let the coaches realise what he is. Let him develop. Stop trying to, let the guy develop. He's 17. Could be a right back. He could be an unbelievable centre mid. He could be both. He might play in a system where he's a right back, but he spends most of his time in the middle. He might become a number 10. He might remain a box to box. He might become a number 6. He might become a wing back. You don't know. He's 17. But the point is he can do both and he's doing them both really well. Yes, I did put awareness. Ignore that. It's fine. Consistency. That's the key for me. Anyone can have good 2 or 3 games, and we've seen it before with loads of players. Good players. But to be able to consistently play competitively and good at a high level is everything. Look at all the young players that have made it out of the Championship in the last few years. Alex Scott, Jude Bellingham. Will be Jack Clark next. Who took longer to develop, by the way. It's consistency. Playing week in, week out. Jaden Philogene. Playing week in, week out at a top level. It's huge. And that's what separates you, and that's what everyone's looking at. Anyone can have a good game. To do it week in, week out with a team of professionals that you've bought for 10, 15 million. It's very impressive. Huge and very important. And that is part of the reason why he's rated so highly, because he does it every week. Mental strength. Do we need to talk about that? Dealing with difficult moments. Done that. Shows the mental strength of a 25-year-old. Unfazed. Unbothered. He's in a good situation right now, he's Archie Gray, and he has all the potential. But what he is right now is a young guy enjoying himself in a successful team. Let's leave it like that for a few years. Yeah. Let him really develop. Physically as well. Understanding of the game tactically. He can't know so much, he's only 17. You'll learn more as you go. But yeah, I just want to do this video about how I like where the club's going. Stuart Downing as well. Really setting up a structure in that under-21s to develop. And when you see these players, when people see these players who have made it, or Archie Gray who has made it, and Matteo Joseph who's on the verge, giving faith in them by giving them that long contract, this is where other clubs will allow their young players to come to Leeds United. Where the young players will want to come to Leeds United because they're showing there's a pathway. Not every player makes it at Leeds or any club. That doesn't happen. Not every player makes it. That's football, I'm afraid. It's them small margins that make a difference from going on League Two, like Lewis Bates, who by the way is extremely talented. I think that could be the right move for him. he could develop at 24, 25. But right now, as a young player who's got a secure future at the club, that's the slight difference. It's just that slight level you have to progress on in training to adapt to first team football from youth football. And that's what these two have done. And that's why they've been rewarded with these contracts. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate all the support. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon. And future's bright for Leeds. Good moves. Peace.